Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, where this is going to be the second out of a series of 3 videos that I'm intending to do for the Girded for Freedom Cosmos quest in Fran's character event. And on this one, I'm going to be tackling it with Team Splash Damage. So the first one was launch shenanigans. This one is going to be like splash damage out the wazoo, because pretty much every wave in this fight has at least 2 targets in it. So, you know, AoE damage is just basically the most efficient way to deal damage that doesn't involve Vayne. And the third one, when I finally get around to farming up all of my Ashes summon boards, I'm actually going to be doing the 35 CP Ash run with Sephiroth. But that one, I'll have to do that one a little bit later, because yeah, I'm a lazy swine. I've got Ifrit, but I need to finish off Shiva, and on principle I want to have my boards finished before I do any kind of content with that character. Although I've done it before with Eiko with like only Ifrit, but you know, shut up. Anyway, so here I'm bringing Rinoa, Freya and Sarah with twin support and Bahamut summon. So I'm bringing Bahamut along because, frankly, it really doesn't matter what summon you have when you have the twins along, but Freya will turn into absolute beast mode when you've got Bahamut combined with the ranged weakness of the bosses. She is just going to be putting out unholy amounts of damage. Sarah, her attacks are also non-elemental, and it's pretty much a guaranteed 9999 on wound when you use it in Bahamut. And Rinoa would appreciate Bahamut if she was being used in summon at all, but she is actually the one that I'm going to be swapping out for the twins because she has no means of she won't get batteried basically during the summon, and she only has 3 brave hits on her HP plus attack. It's incredibly powerful, but it's still only 3 hits, and that's a big part of what holds her back during the Chaos era as well. Yeah, she gets a really powerful brave regen, but ultimately it's still only 3 hits, and she doesn't really have that many gimmicks apart from hitting hard and doing a shit ton of damage. So I'm actually going to take the opportunity to show my artifacts. This time I remembered, because I'm actually going to be changing one of them on... No, I'm not. I contemplated changing one of these 108s for the Max Brave 200, because that way I could better capitalise off the battery, but I'm actually intending to be using her EX, and Attack 108 does, you know, drastically increase the damage of her EX skill, whereas Leader of the Forest Elves boost only works for HP and Brave Plus attacks. So I'm actually just going to be leaving those as they are. More or less perfect. I wanted one Max Brave 330 in there because I think she really, you know, gets quite a lot of use out of it, because her base Max Brave stat is huge, and the number of buffs she gets on top of it is also huge. So the more Max Brave you have, the more room for battery you have, the more disgusting things that you can do, basically, with your one-trick pony HP spammer. Freya is an absolute beast of a character in Opera Omnia, and she's one of my favourites. Like I've said this multiple times, but her only drawback at the moment is the fact that she doesn't have an EX weapon. So she will run out of skills sooner or later, and you do have to kind of make use of a high jump and jump attacks like a HP and brave attacks in order to not completely run out of skills in longer fights, which really slows down her damage output, and it's, you know, it's one major drawback that she does have. But before that point, she's just an absolute monster in terms of what she actually brings to the party. So we've got our artifacts here with the triple Dragon Knight of Amisha boost, which is a 15% bonus all in all to the Max Brave and attack auras that she gives to the party. So she's basically giving a sum total of 65% Max Brave and 25% attack aura to the party, and her Dragon Breath attack is straight up ridiculous because it's everything that's good about Rinoa's HP plus, except it's an AoE brave into single target HP attack, and it does like 5 brave hits per target. So in summon it will just be hitting the max damage, especially against these enemies because they're ranged weak, and you combine that with the Bahamut boost, and whoa, you're looking at some spicy numbers. In fact, I was originally intending to be going at this with a Freya support, but nobody uses Freya, and I got bored of looking for one, so I'll go with the twins instead because they're basically the next best thing. Squall would be pretty good as well, to be honest. In fact, I think the last time I tried this I had Squall in place of Rinoa, but yeah, twins should be just as good because they, you know, they just do way too much damage for their brave count, to be honest. And yeah, Sarah is in 3rd place because she does have her ultimate arrow skill for the 100% AoE damage, and she has Wound Plus for splash damage, while having ridiculous buffs, especially in no small part to having perfect artifacts. which, yeah, I mean, the less said about that the better, but now I've got them, I am going to be getting, well, I want to say something like, I'm going to be getting my money's worth out of them, but I mean, I really didn't actually spend anything. Just time, and patience, and sanity, and, you know, all the rest of it. And a shout out to Locomaniac for actually putting up the twins as a friend unit, because there's not that many AoE friends about at the moment. It's mostly on my friends list, it's like Kistis and Vayne, with like a few Layles, and like a random Kefka for some reason, and a couple Clouds. So yeah, I don't see that much Freya, I don't see that much twins. Squall seems to have dropped off a bit now as well, so yeah, that's super convenient. Anyway, let's get into it and see how we do on this run. So the aim of the game here is to do so much splash damage that you don't actually care that they're buffing themselves. And especially to get the summon up as soon as we can. So that we don't actually really care. Okay, so that's kind of slightly unfortunate that we didn't actually do a HP attack on the wound there. I'm going to do Rice's Wind over here on B, because I want to get the break bonus on A with Rinoa using her Angel Wing, which I'm definitely going to be doing, because I have no reason not to, owing to the fact that Rinoa is going to be the character that I'm swapping out. And I'd just like to point out that Rinoa's max brave right now is 30,000, outside of Synergy, before she uses Angel Wing Meteor, and that's only with one max brave 330 artifact. So, although Rinoa only does 3 brave hits, she's a huge walking ball of stats. Like, just look at that. Nonsense right there. And that is before Sarah. I'd like to point out that this is before Sarah's attack buff, that she just does all 9s on everything. Like, she's like just an out and out demon. You know, like, no joke. Like, I'm actually just gonna hit this thing. Everything explodes. Great fun with Rinoa. So, I am going to be getting the Moonlight buffs up, because we do need them. Excuse me. Excuse me there. We're going to push back A. Yeah, let's just try and keep the damage. Some semblance of balance here. So I'm actually going to be safe to just hit them with Wound here, because Wound also batteries as well as doing splash damage, so that's quite nice. And we are going to take some breaks when we do this, but to be honest, that's not entirely a bad thing, because we're going to get to the boss wave so fast that taking breaks will help Bahamut to get charged up. So I'm not going to complain over having a few breaks. Well, just look at that damage, that's just absolute nonsense. You do that during Bahamut and it's just completely game over. I'm actually just going to use Rice's Wind here, because I want to try and save some Dragon Breath charges for the boss. Like, I think we are going to need like most of them. So you can argue that, you know, wastes a turn, but whatever. I think that was necessary, really. And so we're at the boss wave already, because we do splash damage to everything. So of course we have the EX ready here. Which I'm absolutely going to use. Oh, and we have turn warping Sarah, who just like suddenly jumps in front of Freya, which is actually completely fine. I'll go in with a Dragon Breath. We're only going to be able to use so many of them outside of summon, and that's just so ridiculous. So Rinoa is almost on her EX. Okay, so we're basically almost to summon. So I could summon here, to be honest, and kind of just be done with it. And I suppose Rinoa does give like a minor brave aura to the party. In fact, is that going to be the best thing to do? Because I can swap Rinoa out during the summon for the twins, and the twins don't really give any kind of aura. So actually I think it's going to be the best thing to do. Literally, if I just go into summon right now, I think there's no reason to wait. Except for the turns, maybe. I could have gained a few more turns there. But I just want to do the most amount of damage possible. And look at that. That is absolutely just broken. 9,000 brave damage. Per hit! Complete lunacy. And yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to wait until Rinoa gets back. Oh, perfect. So we get to do Ultimate Arrow. I know the twins don't have any kind of attack buff. Let's have it. Let's see here. What weaknesses do they have? They have a lightning weakness. Oh, we can just use Thunder and Geocrush. How convenient. Why was I even worried? They do so much goddamn damage. So I'm actually going to focus on taking out A first, because when Rinoa gets back, I want her to use her EX skill on one of them at a time. So we won't all get broken at once, which is the important thing there. So yeah, they've got their frame buffs up now, but you know, forgive me for not actually caring, because we've got these two who will just do all sorts of nonsense. Let's not get broken, shall we? Our battery for Freya. What do we do here? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna Rice's Wind here. We don't need to waste that amount of bravery. Oh, and of course, like, you know, Freya steals a turn, because why not? Let's see. Screw it. Let's break them. Do not want to use the EX until B is alone. So I have to battery anyway, so I'm going to target B instead of A. So that way I don't actually launch A and I don't waste the launch. So here I think I can just... launch A like so, and I actually don't need to go HP attack there. Probably would have been better to share the damage out a little bit more rather than focus that much. But you know what? That was a bit redundant, but hey, let's Rice's Wind. Okay, I'm gambling on the poison here. There we go. See, that's another reason that Sarah is so useful. Like, her poison can seriously just completely decimate an enemy's like brave stock. So here I'm actually going to use Angel Wing for the Angel Wing buff itself to make sure I do the most damage possible, and yeah, let's just unleash. Still a ton of damage. Oh wow, that did nothing. I should have just done another Moonlight, but it's all good. We got it finished in the end. In the same turn count I did with the launch team, actually. That's pretty impressive, with no dispels. Let's see what score we get here. Yeah, obviously it's not going to compare to the launch team score, because 1, you don't have the launches, and 2, we took a whole lot more Brave Breaks. Which does actually lower your score the more you get broken. But we still don't need a Dispeller. Most people probably have these characters, with the exception of Sarah. They probably don't have all the artifacts for her. So that does kind of put a blunt in your attack power if you don't have Sarah, but as we've seen, the amount of nonsense that Freya can do during summon before they have their buffs up is so extreme that you probably don't even need Sarah anyway. Only like when they do actually buff up. But if you don't have Sarah, then use Rydia. Like, I think Rydia's really good with her Hidden Perils, and her EX ignores defense regardless, so Rydia should be able to put in some major work here as well. So yeah, that's my video of the splash damage team. That's my second approach to this, and the third one will just be the pure Sephiroth fanboy approach. And I guess I will catch you in that one. And until then, I will see you later.